Be honest, how many of you opened your brokerage app this morning and finally felt like you could breathe again? The S&P 500 is climbing, headlines are screaming that the war is winding down, and it feels like we're finally heading back to normal. But let me ask you this, why does it still feel so expensive at the gas station? Why is your grocery bill still hitting like a heavyweight boxer? That gut feeling you have that something isn't quite right is actually backed by cold, hard data. While the rest of the world is celebrating a fake peace, a massive financial trap is being set. Today, I'm going to use the numbers to strip away the illusion. My name is Moon. I obsess over inflation and the energy war. If you're struggling because you think everything will be fine once the war ends, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. And if this video helps you make sense of the chaos, make sure to give it a like. Look, let's start with the common sense everyone is following right now. If oil futures are dropping, inflation is dead. You see WTI Crude sitting at $91 on your screen, and you think, great, the worst is over. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's a lie. Nick Maggiulli always says we should look at the flow, not just the snapshot. What people really don't know is that the $91 you see is just a paper price created by hedge funds and AI algorithms. Here is where it gets really interesting. While the digital price is $91, the spot price, what refineries actually pay for physical oil right now, is screaming between $140 and $150. We are seeing a $40 to $50 gap between the paper world and the physical world. This kind of decoupling hasn't happened in over 20 years. Let's look at the data. Historically, energy isn't just a part of inflation, it's the engine that drives it. If you look at the last 5 decades, every single time energy prices spike, the CPI follows right behind it like a shadow. Now let's do some quick math. During the COVID peak, oil hit these levels and CPI shot up to 9%. Right now, CPI is being reported at around 3.3%. Do you see the problem? The real cost of energy, that $150 physical oil, hasn't been factored into your plane tickets, your shipping costs, or your food yet. Mathematically, inflation cannot just vanish when the input costs are at 20-year highs. It's a lag, not a recovery. Now, you're probably thinking, Moon, if peace is coming, won't that gap just close? This is where human and machine psychology comes in. The futures market is dominated by AI. The algorithm reads a headline about a truce and it instantly sells. It's betting on a future that doesn't exist yet. But the physical market is run by guys in hard hats. If you're a refinery manager, you don't care about a potential truce next month. You care that your tanks are empty today. You'll pay $150 right now because if your refinery stops, your company dies. And for those of you saying the shipping lanes will open up immediately, think again. Insurance companies won't cover ships in a former war zone overnight. Logistics has a physical lag that algorithms can't calculate. You're watching a collision between digital optimism and physical reality. What people really don't get is this. The paper price eventually has to chase the physical price. This is a phenomenon called backwardation on steroids. When that paper price finally snaps upward to meet reality, the shock to the stock market will be violent. So how do we handle this? Do we panic? No, we follow the just keep buying philosophy, but with a smarter shield. 1. Audit your cash flow. Prepare for higher for longer. Interest rates won't drop as fast as the optimists think if energy stays high. 2. Asset allocation. Don't just chase tech. Ensure your portfolio has exposure to real assets, commodities, and energy producers that actually own the physical stuff. 3. Build a psychological moat. When the headlines turn red because oil suddenly spikes back to $120, you won't panic. You'll know it was just the market catching up to the truth we discussed today. Look, economic shifts are a disaster for people who guess, but they are massive opportunities for people who read the numbers. Don't let the fake peace lull you into a bad financial position. Data doesn't have an agenda. That $50 gap between the screen and the refinery is a warning light. The people who see the light and slow down now are the ones who will have the capital to buy the dip when everyone else is panicking. I hope this gave you the clarity you needed to protect your future. Now it's time to take action. My name is Moon. I'm here to make sure you stay on the right side of the numbers. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.